Hello! Today we will be going over how to install a D24 secure reader to a switch plate. We will begin by removing the back plate. Unscrew the single screw holding this in place. Then take the back plate off and mount it to the switch plate on the wall. Now that the back plate is mounted to the wall, we will need to supply power to the reader. The reader will need to be hooked up to either a 5 or 12 volt power supply depending on what supply is available to you. You may also choose to hook up an external power supply that is not attached to the panel. We will begin by demonstrating with this reader that is set up for 12 volts. To hook up the reader for 12 volts, take the red power, also known as positive, and the black ground, also known as negative, from the panel and insert them into the terminal block at the spots indicated as power and ground. To connect the wire to the terminal block, simply lift the orange switch, insert the wire, and then release the switch. To connect the reader for 5 volts, take the red power cable and black ground cable from the reader and connect them to the corresponding power and ground cables from the panel. Twist the wires together and be sure to cap them off to prevent any exposed wiring. To show how to connect an external power source, we will be using the 5 volt reader. Begin by connecting your external power source's power and ground wires to the reader. Then, connect the ground wire from the panel to the ground terminal located in the middle of the terminal block. This is necessary to get the data to communicate with the panel. You will also need to hook up the data cables. This will be done with either the terminal block or with preset wires. These wires may be built in to make it easier to set up a reader when the wires running from the panel are too short to easily work with. There is wording on the terminal block and a wire diagram on the inside of the back plate to help connect the wires. The most important wires are the data 0, green, and data 1, white. These wires are needed to communicate with the panel. The LED wire in brown accommodates any non-standard lighting patterns that have been set up by the panel. The beep wire, yellow, accommodates any non-standard sounds set up by the panel. The tamper wire, purple, sends a signal to the panel to indicate if the reader has been tampered with. Connect these wires the same way the power was connected, either by using caps or inserting these wires into the terminal block, depending on which reader you have. Once everything else has been connected, attach the reader to the wall and then apply power.